Mataji, should I repeat after you or?
Yes, okay. Balam balavatam chaham.
Balam balavatam chaham.
Kamaraga vivarjitam.
Kamaraga vivarjitam.
Dharma virudha bhuteshu.
Dharma virudo bhuteshu.
Kamosmi bharatarshabha.
Kamosmi bharatarshabha.
Okay, you can read the translation.
I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life, which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of the Bharatas, Arjuna.
Jai, have you ever read that anywhere? Has anybody ever claimed that? I mean, these verses are, I would say, of course, he is talking about impersonalism here because these are the impersonal features of the Lord, right? The sunshine, the moonshine, water, the shade of the trees. All these are the impersonal features of the Lord. But at the same time, they are features of the Lord that you can see with your material eyes, with these protein eyes, because otherwise, our bodily senses, the 26 senses that we have, are incapable to see any spiritual entity. The light in our eyes is not strong enough to see a spiritual being. There isn't enough strength or potency in our senses. Hence, the impersonal form of the Lord, which is made up of the elements of this world, of which our own body is also made, we are able to touch and feel and see. So at our level of existence, we are able to identify with the greatness of the Lord. Does that make sense? And then to all those who say that, everything comes from Krishna. So, well, even sex life comes from Krishna. Well, yes, he's saying that. Kamosmi. Kamosmi Bharatarshabha. What is Bharatarshabha? O Lord of the Bharatas. Because our country is, originally the name was Bharatvarsh. Varsh means country, and Bharat means the descendants of the king, the great benevolent king Bharat Maharaj. उस country को हम belong करते हैं. And Bharatarshabha means it is being addressed to Arjun, that you are the Shresht, most prominent personality of this Bharatvarsh. So he's telling him that I'm sex life, but how has Prabhupada translated it? I am the strength of the strong. Balam, balavatam. Balavatam matlab of the strong. Balam, I am the strength. But please take note of the two words. Devoid of passion and desire. So we are not talking about WWF strength. We are not talking about wrestling matches. We are not talking about Muhammad Ali and all the other Dara Singh, the really strong Hercules, all these really strong people in history, जिनको हम quote करते हैं. They were known for their strength. Bhim, he had the physical strength and power of 10,000 elephants. 10,000 elephants. Yet, strength of Krishna is not like them. Why? What's the difference? Because it is devoid of passion and desire. Krishna is not bound by passion or desire. His strength, his power is not because of desire to achieve something or lust for something. This is the big difference between our power, materialistic strength and power, and spiritual strength and power. Is that clear? So, I'm the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sex life. Also, yes, kamosmi. But again, what is the fine print here? Which is not contrary to religious principles. And what are the religious principles? What was Brahma created for? To populate this universe, right? That was what was the job given to Brahma. By whom? Lord Shri Krishna, Mahavishnu. So, for the purpose of producing progeny, for the purpose of populating our species, or increasing our species, for the maintenance of this planet, I am Kamosmi, which means sex according to the rules and regulations of the Shastra is Krishna. And how does Prabhupada translate that? Yes, you can use intercourse or intimacy with the opposite sex to produce Krishna conscious children, period. That's it. You do need some kind of, because we are caged in this material body, you will have to mate. We are not spiritual beings कि हम ऋषि मुनि फिर भी करते थे, योगी करते थे. Just by the power of chanting the mantras, they could produce a child. That's what Ved Vyas did. He just looked at Amba, Ambika and Ambalika, and he could produce children. The Kauravas were 100. How? Just the water was placed in 100 pots and covered with a cloth, and a child was produced. So yes, you can have children on the basis of sound vibration, mantra recitation, the potency of the mantras, or even through your mind. How was Vaman Avatar, Lord Varahadev? Varaha kaise aaye the? Through the nostrils of Brahma. Brahma didn't have a wife. Initially, when Brahma was created, he created more beings. How was Shiva created? From the mind of Brahma. You know, when anger arose within Brahma, he tried to control that anger, but it was too late. And from that anger came Shiva. So yes, this is also one way of producing children. And the other way is through mating. But again, why was this facility given to us? For only one purpose: for producing and propagating Krishna conscious children. Anything against that or not along these lines is contrary to religious principles and hence is sinful. The strong man's strength should be applied to protect the weak, not for personal aggression, Prabhupada says. Similarly, sex life, according to dharma, religious principles, should be for the propagation of children, not otherwise. It's only to populate this universe, not for enjoyment. It is not for sense gratification. It's for a work to be done. And therefore, there were 64 kind of samskaras. आज उसमें 64, right from the birth of a child. मैंने शुरू में आपको एक पीपीटी भी दिखाई थी उसकी. From the birth of a child till the अंतिम संस्कार. In the life of a human being, 64 samskars are done. उनमें से एक है गर्भाधान संस्कार. Sex life. When you want to beget a child, you have to choose a time. You have to choose a proper day. You have to follow a lot of niyam, rules and regulations, both the husband and wife, separately before you conceive a child. Can you see how from where we have degraded so much? We don't even know about these things. और ये सारे संस्कार common population used to follow. गर्भाधान संस्कार करके, perform करके ही children were born. Therefore, the population was very high caliber population. Maximum people were Brahmanas by guna karma, by their guna, by their personality, by their intellect. The earth was full of Brahmanas. Today, you have to, look under a microscope. Ikka dukka Brahmana milenge because parents are not undergoing any austerity. They are only using sex life for sense gratification, not for religious principles, only for enjoying. So what will be the result? You will have Varna Sankara, which Arjun was scared of in the beginning, in the first chapter only. Remember, he told Krishna, I don't want to fight because there'll be Varna Sankar. People will become so degraded that unwanted children will be born, children without any good character, without demoniac mentality वाले बच्चे पैदा होंगे. और जब ये large quantity में हो जाएंगे, there is going to be conflict, there are going to be wars, there's going to be fights, because good quality of population is not being generated. So how important it is to follow religious principles or dharma. Everything gets regulated. And only with regulation comes good quality. Only through Maryada comes good quality of anything. You cannot expect a good quality of life, a good quality of population, a good quality of results or character if each of the member of the society is not following regulation of the senses. And if you look at it, आजकल हमें हमारे लीडर्स, हमारा मीडिया हमें क्या बता रहा है? Just do it. ये टैगलाइन है, लोग टी शर्ट पे छपाते हैं. Just do it. जो मन में आए करो. If you have the money, you have the power, you have the means, just do it. Animals, isn't it? The dog in the street doesn't go to take permission from anyone, no? Whenever, whatever he feels like doing, he just does it. और हमने उसी की क्वालिटी अपनी टी शर्ट पे छपवा ली. So knowledge, ये awareness गीता पढ़ने के बाद आती है. So knowledge is power. Knowledge is very, very crucial, and knowledge alone can bring the society back from the brink of destruction. Okay? All right, next one. Who would like to repeat? Okay, Bharti. Ye chaiva satvika bhava.
ये चैव सात्विका भावा
Rajashastamashascha ye.
राजस्तमस्य च वे
Rajasastamashascha ye.
राजस्तामसाश्चे
Matta eveti tan vidhi.
मता एव तीताद्वृद्धि
Natva aham teshu te mayi.
नहा तो हम तेषु ते मये.
हिंदी में पढ़िए ऊपर. नत्वाहं तेषु ते मही.
नहा तो हम तेषु ते मये.
Yeah, you can read the translation.
Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me.
Can you repeat that again, please?
Know that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the modes of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me.
So whatever we have been saying so far, Krishna is now finally saying it himself. That he is not under the control of Sattva, Rajo, Tamo. Although they are coming from him, but they are not him. So what does it mean? Okay, I'll read the translation, then I'll ask this question. All material activities in the world are being conducted under the three modes of material nature. Although these material modes of nature are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna, he is not subject to them. For instance, under the state laws, one may be punished, but the king, the lawmaker, is not subject to that law. Similarly, all the modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, are emanations from the Supreme Lord Krishna, but Krishna is not subject to material nature. Therefore, he is nirgun, which means that these gunas or modes, although issuing from him, do not affect him. That's one of the special characteristics of Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Van means owner, and Bhaga means all opulence. One who owns all the seven opulences. Which are the seven opulences? एक point बता सकते हैं सर?
Beauty, fame,
Renunciation.
Beauty, fame, renunciation. Very good.
Knowledge,
Shakti,
Knowledge,
Shakti, Bal,
strength. Yes.
strength.
5.
Wealth.
Wealth. 6. Last.
Renunciation.
Renunciation. Yes. Who said that? Bharti?
I said it before.
Okay, you
the
did.
beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
such a person can only be called Bhagwan. Bhag. All these seven opulences ka van, ka owner, ka origin is Bhagwan. Okay. So we have heard this word many times. ये जो words हैं, इन words को misinterpret करके prove किया जाता है that on the strength of the Vedas and the Upanishads that God is impersonal. He is shapeless, formless. देखो लिखा है he is निर्गुण. निर्गुण मतलब उनका तो कोई गुण ही नहीं है, मतलब उनका कोई आकार ही नहीं है. He is निराकार, he is निर्गुण. Hence, he is not a person, he is just nature. But what is the real meaning of nirgun? Krishna is explaining in 7.12 himself. What is he saying? Rajasas tamasas chaye matta eveti tan vidhi natva eham teshu emai. I'm not under the modes of material nature. On the contrary, they are within me. So when we say he is nirgun, does it mean that he has no gun? He has no qualities? What does nirgun mean? I'm asking you that question.
He doesn't get impact of these three modes of material nature. He is above three gunas.
He's transcendental, so he's not affected by the modes of material nature.
Yes, he is not under their control. That is the meaning of nirgun. That is also the meaning of nirakar. He owns them. They don't own him. We can't say that for ourselves. हम तो properly उनके control में हैं, क्योंकि हम बूढ़े हो रहे हैं. Can we control the aging of our body? No, Krishna can. Krishna was on this planet for 125 years. And his skin, his body, his physical appearance was not a day older than 20 or 25. Not a day older. So he's not under the control of anything of this world. He comes, आने से पहले भी वो decide करते हैं अपने माता पिता कौन होंगे, किस वंश में आएंगे, किस जगह पे आएंगे. He chooses. जाने का टाइम भी he chooses. कैसे जाऊंगा, कहाँ जाऊंगा, in what conditions will I leave? Why? Because he is the owner of this world. Is that clear? Okay. I'm assuming that you have no questions, 11th and 12th. Can we move to the 13th verse, or we have any questions? All right. Verse 13. Who would like to go?
Okay, I can do
Yes.
it.
Tribhir gunamair bhavair
त्रिभिः गुणमयैर्भावैः
bhave ebhi sarvam idam jagat
भावैः सर्वमिदं जगत्
mohitam nabhignanati
मोहितं नाभिजानाति
mam ebhya paramavyayam.
मामेभ्यः परमव्ययम्.
You can read the translation.
Deluded by the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible.
So he's saying the whole world is mohitam, confused, deluded, under illusion, hypnotized. Whole world, huh? Mohitam. Sarvam idam jagat mohitam. Whole world. And na abhijanati. They don't know. They don't know what? That I am avyayam. Avyayam means inexhaustible. I am above these three modes. So the whole world is enchanted by the three modes of material nature. Those who are bewildered by these three modes cannot understand that transcendental to this material nature is Krishna. So then how are we ever supposed to get out of here? Doesn't this question cross your mind? If the world is designed to keep us deluded, confused, and it's not possible to get out of here. Then what is the hope for us? How do we do it?
By surrendering.
By surrendering to whom?
Krishna.
Yes, but if we don't know who is Krishna,
by the consciousness of our self-realizations.
Can you explain a little more? What does that mean?
Like if we are influenced by the three modes, then we should have so much of intelligence कि how come like we are able to come on this earth. हम लोग जीवित कैसे हैं, हम लोग क्या जो who is the universe, कौन है जहाँ से sunshine आ रही है, that energy who is giving us the sunlight, who is giving us the air, कहाँ से सब कुछ आ रहा है. So when the light is there, then the main source of energy should be there. So that much realization, that much consciousness should be there. उससे हम लोग will become कि कैसे हम लोग अपना इस जीवन मृत्यु से कैसे will be free with this. तभी जब हमें realization होगा, then only will come closer to Krishna कि कौन है, who is the source of this thing.
Yeah. So what you're saying is be curious, ask questions.
We should be curious until unless, because if you are like, for my example, I was curious कि कहाँ से आई भगवत गीता, क्यों था, क्या सब कुछ था. Then only I came into this Krishna consciousness 7 years back. So curiousness should be there, the service attitude should be there. कि क्या है purpose, why we have come on this earth.
Yes, it begins from there. Spiritual life definitely begins from Athato Brahma Jigyasa. There should be curiosity to know. But many people set out to ask. They are very curious, and then they end up at various gurus and babas and ashrams. They all set out. Prabhupada and Subhash Chandra Bose were together in college. एक साल आगे पीछे थे. And both set out in search of a guru. Both had very strong inclination towards discovering the purpose of life. And both ended up in very different places. Isn't it? One went to politics to satisfy his quest for the goal of life. And the other became Jagat Guru. So, what is that missing thing? Let's read the purport and then let's see if we can find that out. So, every living entity under the influence of material nature has a particular type of body and a particular type of psychological and biological activities. Each one of us has a different body and a different nature and a different psychology and a different biology. True? There are 4 classes of men functioning in the 3 modes of nature. Which are the 4? Those who are purely in the mode of goodness, Brahmanas. Those who are in passion, Kshatriyas. Those who are in passion and ignorance, both, Vaishyas. That is the business community. And those who are completely in ignorance, Shudras. And those who are less than that are animals. However, these designations are not permanent. I may be either a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or whatever. In any case, this life is temporary. So if I'm a Brahmin for 70, 80, 90 years, max 100. After death, what am I? Although life is temporary and we do not know what we are going to be in the next life, by the spell of this illusory energy, we consider ourselves in terms of this bodily conception of life. And we thus think that we are American, Indian, Russian, Brahmin, Hindu, Muslim, etc. And if we become entangled with the modes of material nature, then we forget Krishna, who is behind all these modes. So Lord Krishna says that living entities deluded by these 3 modes do not understand that behind the material background is Krishna. Even if you search out, out of curiosity, try to go and find out what's behind the human psyche. There are many different kinds of living entities, human beings, Devi Devtas, animals, and each and every one of them is under the influence of material nature. Okay? Please take note, demigods, Devi Devtas, under the control of material nature. So how much can they give you if you're praying to them? How much can they pull you out of here? If they are also themselves under the control of material nature. And all of them have forgotten the transcendental personality of Godhead. Those who are in the modes of passion and ignorance, and even those in the modes of goodness, cannot go beyond impersonal Brahman, which is the impersonal Mother Nature. So even if you have Brahminical qualities and you are, say, Brahmin by Guna Karma, at best, for us, our aim is, what are we aiming? Oh God, the impossible. Krishna, the gopis and Golok and, all kinds of, I don't think whether we even deserve to think about them. So they are bewildered before the Supreme Lord in his personal feature, who possesses all beauty, opulence, knowledge, strength, fame, and renunciation. When even those who are in goodness cannot understand, we're talking about Brahmins, yogis, even if they cannot understand, what hope is there for those in passion and ignorance, for people like us? We're not Brahmins. So, what hope? Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes of material nature. And those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. So, what do we understand from this verse? Meena?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Haribol. Any ideas? Anybody can share.
What is your question? Sorry, Mataji.
The question asked in the purport by Prabhupada, that when even those who are in goodness cannot understand, what hope is there for those in passion and ignorance? Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all these three modes, and those who are truly established in Krishna consciousness are actually liberated. So my question is that in this verse, Krishna is saying that because of Sattva, Rajo, Tamo, whole world does not know me. As I'm above the modes and I'm inexhaustible. Avyayam. So if we are all under this control of material nature, we are all under the control, tightly under the control of these three modes, hands and legs are properly tied, how are we ever going to understand who God is?
By surrendering to bona fide spiritual master and following the path of Mahajanas, we can get out of this material world.
Guru bina baat nahi. Yes, that's one of the most important parts. Only and only the mercy of a guru can pull you out. Krishna comes later. Krishna is very difficult to understand. He's an enigma. But only a bona fide representative of Krishna can pull you out of the clutches of this world. I mean, you can imagine yourself that we are all magarmach ke muh mein hai hum sab. Half our body, maybe our legs, are in the mouth of a crocodile, and we are in water. Water में तो मगरमच्छ बलवान है, हम तो नहीं है. हम लैंड पे बलवान है, पानी में तो नहीं है, पानी में तो वो बलवान है. तो हम अगर पानी में हैं, मगरमच्छ के मुंह में ऑलरेडी जा चुके हैं, what hope do you have of surviving and coming back to land? कभी सोचा है? We are already in water, between the jaws of a crocodile. Who can pull us out? Can we, first of all, can we go out by ourselves? No. No. We may be Balwan as Bhim, or Hercules, or Hiranyakashipu, or Ravan. These were extremely physically powerful people. इंद्र को भी जिन्होंने बांध के रख लिया था, हवा को बांध के रख लिया था. रावण ने शायद हवा बांधी थी, वरुण को बांध दिया था. Imagine, he could tie up wind. Yet, he is still in water in the mouth of a crocodile. What hope do we have? So even if you're strong, I don't think you can come out of the water. What hope do we have? Only someone who's on land can pull us out. जो हमारे साथ पानी में ना हो, लैंड पे हो, और मगरमच्छ से ज्यादा बलवान हो. And if you hold him or he passes you a pole and you catch hold of that pole, then you have a chance. Correct? It's the only way. कौन बताए बाट गुरुदेव, बना है ना गाना. So taking the shelter of the feet of a bona fide guru is not optional if you want to come out. Does that make sense?
Mataji, एक बार you had actually shared a PPT where it's kind of connected to this, where people are there in the water, and then there is a boat with Prabhupada. So only he can lift us out of this, maybe the modes of nature and take us there to our ultimate goal.
Yeah. And then we come to the second part of my question. जो मैंने आपको example दिया कि चलो, you realize that you are in a emergency situation and now you are looking for help. So whose help are you going to take? Like I said, Prabhupada and his colleague Subhash Chandra Bose both set out to find the answers to the questions of life. But both ended up with different gurus. And the result of their life and the end of their life is also different. So, yes, you have at least understood that we need the mercy of a guru. The second question is, how do you find a guru? Isn't it? Because there are many gurus, many people masquerading as gurus. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Let's see whether you get the answer. Anybody who wants to chant after me? Yes, Neha. Daivi hi esha gunamayi.
देवी हि एषा गुणमयी
Mama maya durutyaya.
मम माया दुरत्यया
Mama evye prapadyante.
मम एवे ये प्रपद्यन्ते
Mayam etam tarantite.
मायामेतां तरन्ति ते.
Yes. Nice patient.
This divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Yes. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead has innumerable energies, and all these energies are divine. Although the living entities are part of his energies and are therefore divine, due to contact with material energy, their original superior power is covered. Being thus covered by material energy, one cannot possibly overcome its influence. As previously stated, both the material and spiritual natures are coming from Krishna, and they are eternal. The living entities belong to the eternal superior nature of the Lord. But due to contamination by the inferior nature, matter, their illusion is also eternal. The conditioned soul is therefore called Nitya Baddha, or eternally conditioned. How scary is that? If somebody tells you, you are going to be eternally in jail, no chance of early rihai or pardon, या सजा माफ कर दी जाए जाने का ऑप्शन है. No, you are doomed eternally. How scary is that? So the conditioned soul is Nitya Baddha. Baddha means tied up, jailed, and Nitya means eternal. We are eternally jailed. No one can trace out the history of his becoming conditioned at a certain date in material history. हम कब गिरे, कब यहाँ पर आके कैद हुए, very difficult to find out, because हम इतने trillions and millions of birth ले चुके हैं यहाँ पे. Very difficult to find out हम पहली बार कब गिरे, यहाँ कब कैद हुए. Consequently, his release from the clutches of material nature is also very difficult. Even though that material nature is an inferior energy, because material energy is ultimately conducted by the supreme will, which the living entity cannot overcome. क्योंकि भगवान की बनाई गई है ये मटेरियल एनर्जी, इंफीरियर एनर्जी भी, तो हम अपने स्ट्रेंथ पे, द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ आवर नॉलेज, इंटेलिजेंस और एफर्ट और पावर तो नहीं निकल सकते. Inferior material nature is defined herein as divine nature due to its divine connection and movement by the divine will. So material nature is not divine, but it is coming from a divine source, इसलिए उसको divine बोल रहे हैं. Being conducted by divine will, material nature, although inferior, acts so wonderfully in the construction and destruction of the cosmic manifestation. The Vedas confirm this as follows. Mayam tu prakritim vidyan mainam tu maheshwaram. Although Maya or illusion is false or temporary, the background of Maya is Krishna, the supreme magician, who is Maheshwar or Maha Ishwar. Ishwar means controller and Maha means supreme, controller of the controller. So there are many Ishwars, all the Devi Devtas are Ishwars. They are all controllers of small departments. But Krishna is the Param Ishwar, controller of all the controllers. Another meaning of Gun is rope, Rasi. It is to be understood that the conditioned soul is tightly tied by the ropes of illusion. So actually, physically and literally also we are tied. A man bound by the hands and feet cannot free himself. Can you? Do you have any hope? If your hands are also tied and feet are also tied, जितने मर्जी आप strong हो, intelligent हो, आप खुद को untie नहीं कर सकते. You need external help. इस picture को अपने मन में उतार ले कि आप, we cannot rely on ourselves. He must be helped by a person who is unbound. अगर हम कुएं के अंदर गिरे हैं, कुएं के बाहर से ही कोई हमें निकाल सकता है. Because the bound cannot help the bound, the rescuer must be liberated. Here is a clue. Here is a clue on who can be a guru. Therefore, only Lord Krishna or his bona fide representative, the Guru, the spiritual master, can release the conditioned soul. Picture ban rahi hai? Clear picture ban rahi hai? Can you see how expertly Krishna is guiding him? How expertly. Without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. You need superior help. So, pehle to you have to come to to a level where you admit that you are helpless. 90 साल की उम्र हो जाती है लेकिन हम एडमिट नहीं करते कि हम हेल्पलेस हैं. करेक्ट? इवन टू एडमिट इतनी हमारी इन्फ्लेटेड ईगो है. It's very difficult for us to admit that we are not in control of ourselves, of our life. We are helpless. ये भी बहुत बड़ी क्वालिटी है. जो अपने आप को हेल्पलेस एक्सेप्ट कर सकता है वो ही गुरु की तलाश में निकल सकता है. करेक्ट? So, without such superior help, one cannot be freed from the bondage of material nature. Devotional service or Krishna consciousness can help one gain such release. Krishna, being the Lord of the illusory energy, can order Maya to release the conditioned soul. Are you getting it? I mean, he can just order, don't touch this guy. And the great Mahamaya, जिससे सब थर-थर कांपते हैं, cannot do anything. She has to step back. He orders his release out of his causeless mercy on the surrendered soul and out of his paternal affection for the living entity who is originally a beloved son of the Lord. Out of paternal affection. So, एक तो वो क्यों ऑर्डर करते हैं माया को कि इसको टच मत करो या इसको रिलीज कर दो. पहला requisite is that the jiva voluntarily surrenders. Voluntarily, किसी के भी मतलब not under force, not under डर, स्वेच्छा से जो बोले yes मैं पतित मैं पावन, पाही माम मुझे बचाओ, then he agrees. दूसरा reason, out of his own paternal affection. Oh, my child. जो सुबह का भूला अगर शाम को लौट कर आए घर तो वो भूला नहीं होता. ये कहावत सुनी है ना सबने? So Krishna already has a relation with us. He's our father and we are his what is the English word? जो बिगड़े हुए बच्चे होते हैं, you know how rich prodigal son. Yeah, so जो बिगड़े हुए बच्चे होते हैं दुख तो बहुत देते हैं अपने अमीर फादर को, but when they many years down the line they become old, they become diseased, they become weak, और बुढ़ापे में भी अगर वो अपने फादर के पास आते हैं माफी मांगते हुए, what does the father do? Immediately, yes, my son, I forgive you. His paternal love still remains, awakens, and he accepts him back. He forgives him everything. Why? Only from that one quality that you came back. You repented, you realized, and you came back. So I forgive you. That's paternal affection. So this also is a reason why Krishna immediately agrees to tells Maya, okay, step back. I'm going to take this child back. Therefore, surrender unto the lotus feet of the Lord is the only means to get free from the clutches of the stringent material nature. So there is nothing high and mighty that you can really do. There's nothing great, nothing intelligent, nothing fantastic that you can really do to get released from the jail of this world, from the jail of this body. This body is a jail. It's decaying. It's deteriorating. Like sand on the beach. What can you really do? Which is the most powerful thing that you can really do? Humbly surrender, like a doormat. You become a doormat in front of the Lord. I surrender to you, my Lord. मैं आपका गुनहगार. Forgive me and please take me back. This quality will get you the mercy. It's very subtle body. The word mam eva are also significant here, Prabhupada points out. Mam means मैं. Krishna is talking about himself, right? Vishnu, me, mam. यहाँ ब्रह्मा शिवा की बात नहीं हो रही. I see the original verse. Mam eva ye prapadyante. So unto me, although Brahma and Shiva are greatly elevated and are almost on the level of Vishnu, but it's not possible for Brahma and Shiva, as they are the incarnations of Rajogun and Tamogun. Brahma is Rajogun, Shiva is Tamogun. So they do not have the power to release the conditioned soul from the clutches of Maya. Please note. Please note. In other words, both Brahma and Shiva are also under the influence of Maya. We have seen their stories innumerable. Brahma was smitten by his own daughter, Mohini. How could the first living entity, the great Brahma, who has composed the Brahma Samhita, who was empowered by Mahavishnu to create this world, how could he succumb to the beauty of the daughter that he created by his own self? Because he was under the modes of material nature. Only Vishnu is the master of Maya, and therefore he alone can give release to the conditioned soul. The Shvetashvatar Upanishad confirms this in the phrase Tam Eva Vidhitva, or freedom is possible only by understanding Krishna and nobody else. Just the Vedas confirm this in the phrase. Even Lord Shiva affirms that liberation can be achieved only by the mercy of Vishnu. Lord Shiva says, Mukti Pradata Sarvesham Vishnu Eva Na Samshaya. Na Samshaya. There is no doubt. There is no doubt that Vishnu is the deliverer of liberation for everyone. Think about it. Just take a minute to digest all this. Mukti pradata sarvesham Vishnu eva na samshaya. Yes, they can give you many things. Shiva, Brahma, Mata can give you many things. But we are not talking about many things. We're only talking about one thing. Liberation from this world. Liberation from death. May we never die again. अगर आपकी prayer ये है, I don't want to die ever again. Who has the power to fulfill this prayer?
Vishnu. Vishnu.
So therefore, we are worshipping Krishna because our goal and our desire is different from the goals and desires of the common population. Everybody is worshipping someone. Most people, at least, are worshipping someone. At least they realize that they are not powerful. There is someone more powerful than them. So they are trying to please an entity more powerful than them. But what is the goal of their prayer? If you just ask all the people who worship various gurus and babas and Devi Devatas, if you just ask them this one question on why you're worshipping them, what is your goal, what do you want, and then you analyze, you will see the difference between the results of each. You cannot say all are one. Neither can you say all gods are one. Neither can you say that all roads lead to the same path, lead to the same destination. Because everybody is not asking for the same destination. As simple as that. सबको वो नहीं चाहिए जो हम चाह रहे हैं या जो हम pursue कर रहे हैं. And if you carefully analyze, is there anyone who claims that I can release you from death or I can give you you eternal so that you never die again, never take birth again? Does anyone claim that he can give you? Think about it, and then you are able to talk and explain when you're asked a question with more conviction. Any thoughts? Any realizations? Anything you want to share? Prabhupada is simply amazing. It's just the clarity of his purports. Has made all the difference. Yes, so let's stop here. You have nothing to say or share. We've done till 14. 4 verses. I'm assuming there are no questions. You can stop the recording, Vinita Uma.